sprouts. We are going to grow our own sprouts in our kitchens. Very cool. I have 4 types of seeds that we're going to start sprouting today. I have mung beans, I have pinto beans, I have mustard seeds, yellow mustard, and alfalfa. And yes, this yellow mustard is the same stuff that gets ground up and pickled with vinegar and you put it on, your burgers and hot dogs. Okay, so to get started, I have what we need on hand. We need our seeds and or beans. We need something to soak them in. In this case, I'm just using bowls. You can use jars, you can use cups. It doesn't matter. It's only for a few hours. It's just the first step. You need some water. You need something to measure the beans and seeds. This water is just tap water, and that's what I'm going to start the soak with. I didn't want to be wandering over to my sink while I'm showing you. And then when we are done soaking, you need to have on hand some sort of sprouting tray. These are my homemade sprouting trays. This one is for the larger beans, and these are for the smaller seeds. Now, I chose to make my own because the ones that I found online, they weren't deep enough. My sprouts were growing too tall for the options. They're only about yay tall, and I needed more vertical space. So I chose to make my own with plastic containers from your local store. I mean, Walmart, any place. So, and I will do I have a separate video on how to make these yourself. They're not terribly difficult, and this is probably the most labor-intensive part of sprouting your own seed sprouts. Okay, let's get started. First, I'm gonna go ahead and measure some of our mung beans. I'm gonna do the same volume of mung beans and pinto beans. I picked the mung beans because they're really good and I really, really like them. However, if you wanna look at them, they're tiny. Aren't they cute? These are very popular in various Asian cuisines. They are a little bit tricky to get a hold of unless you have access to an Asian grocery store. I ordered mine online, which also works very well. You just have to wait for shipping if you do that. So for this size tray, I'm gonna use a 1/3 cup of dried seeds. And that will be enough. It's crazy, right? It will be enough, I promise. Now, so I'm gonna get this bowl out here. Next, I'm gonna do a 1/3 cup of pinto beans. Why are we even sprouting these seeds? What is the point? Well, it tastes good, yes, and there are recipes that call for sprouts, and now you can make your own and they're gonna be super fresh. But for nutrition reasons, for good health, there's a reason to sprout your seeds or beans, and it has to do with bioavailability of nutrients. When a seed is in this dried form or even in the cooked form of this same bean or seed, the nutrients are all in there. They're just protected by the outside of the seed, and part of the outside of that seed is a coating of chemicals that makes it unappetizing to birds and other prey, other things that will want to eat it, and also allows it to last longer in the elements. Once that seed sprouts, all of that energy and all of those nutrients go into growing the plant, and it's still edible, but it no longer has the protective coating of the seed, which, because in this case we're the predator, it allows us to get the nutrients from the seeds more efficiently, thus increasing the bioavailability of the nutrients. Also, if you have stomach problems and you tend to get gassy from these, any number of things, sprouting them first will definitely help. Now, tiny seeds, I'm only going to do 1 tablespoon of each type of seed because they will grow. All right, there's the mustard ones. Aren't they neat looking? The mustard seeds are round and tiny. The alfalfa seeds look completely different, and in fact, the grown plants look different too. All right, now all of our seeds are in their respective bowls. I'm going to start adding water. You just need to coat them. I'm not measuring the water. It's enough to cover them. All of the seeds and beans will swell in the water because they're going to rehydrate. You're going to see it the most dramatically in the beans. The seeds, it's not as easy to see it just from visual observation, but you're going to be really surprised in about 5 hours when you come back to check on these and start the sprouting process. So this is the end of step 1. We're done. Leave these alone for the next 5 or so hours, and then we'll come back and get our sprouts started.